We are go. All right, Anna, thank you so much for hopping on Freelancer Talks. First off, where are you sitting in the world?
Well, right now I'm in Bulgaria. I've moved here a bit over a year ago, but I've sat in so many places before. I'm Ukrainian originally, and I lived and worked in Belgium and Italy.
Awesome. And where are most of your clients located?
Well, some of them are in Belgium, some of them here in Bulgaria. Now I have a client in the US and more to come. So really kind of everywhere.
Cool. Where in the US?
Miami.
Oh, no way. Do you know
Yeah.
where in Miami? I might be able to throw something at them if yeah, you need to.
Now they're all remote like everyone, right?
Cool. So let's I want to make sure I don't give you the intro that you can give your own intro, so I don't underestimate. But so yeah, let's just hear a little intro of sort of what you do, and yeah, our audience is pumped to hear from you.
Yeah, well, I'm Anna. I've been a marketing professional for over 6 years now. I've done lots of things, started as an intern in a startup, did lots of many other activities like events and social media, and slowly moved myself to crafting strategies and then executing from those strategies. I've worked with publications. I've co-created a publication right now here in Bulgaria. It's an English language website for foreigners, for the internationals living here. And I also do a lot of freelance work with clients who want to bring their marketing to the next level because they realize that marketing is really important and it can be done wrong and it should be done in a better way.
Awesome. So let's hear the elevator pitch. Like let's say that you and I just happen to be in the same elevator. Let's hear your pitch of your 30-second pitch.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, marketing is crucial, and it's not one thing that you do. It's not a pill for everything. It is a consistent, slow, very maybe boring process of putting yourself out there and making sure that you're answering people's questions, your customers, your clients, your prospects questions, you're covering the needs, you are treating them like your lovers in a way that you're cuddling them with your support and love. And this is what marketing is for me, and this is what I'm doing with marketing for my clients, with my clients, and for myself as well, I guess.
Cool. All right, and so help us understand. So do you have a typical client, or what are your clients? What is sort of the makeup of them usually?
It happens to be that people come to me and they say, okay, we don't have anything in-house. We need someone to take care of the strategy to realize what's working for us, what doesn't, what's working for the people who we are competitor with, and how we could use that. And they also want the execution because fortunately people realize that there needs to be someone who takes care of this, who takes care of the social media on a consistent basis, who writes the blogs if those are necessary, or makes the videos, or is communicating with the audience, with the whatever audience is. Maybe it is readers, maybe it is the actual clients. If it's like B2B, maybe it's SaaS, it's software. So it is great to see this kind of shift in people that they come and want you to do basically everything. And maybe they come here and they see marketing as social media and they want that and they have this in mind. And it's also my job to teach them that it's not only that. Marketing, in my opinion, is actually everything that we are doing. It's also how we treat the team, because the team would be our either evangelists, they would be our ambassadors, or really they would not feel so good and they would not want to bring other people to, and know, let the whole world know about the company or the project we are working in. And it's the way we treat the prospects or people who tell us no, or all of the little things that we need to do. It's the team communication between, the team members as well. The processes are all together, because everything can be bad marketing, so everything can be good marketing either, right? So that's me. That's what we do.
Gotcha. And I mean, are we talking usually large company? We're talking small company. Like, is there a typical makeup of the company itself usually?
Uh, it happens to be like scale-ups, people who
Scale.
maybe raised some money or they grew fast enough. They know they need to do something, they don't know what.
Yeah.
So this is what happens to be with me at least.
Gotcha. And how do you find them? I mean, is this LinkedIn? Is this a freelance platform? How do you usually find these clients?
Oh, it can be really different things. Sometimes I apply for jobs, like I actually apply for jobs. It hasn't happened recently, um, but yeah, I that's how I found the clients in Miami. I was there for a job. I still have a client in Belgium, 3 years and a bit more past. Um, then it's not some face like it used to be face to face networking. Sometimes it is like now I am in Fiverr Pro. It's another thing I'm trying out. So I was contacted today. Yeah, people sometimes find me, sometimes I find them, but I really have no recipe because lots of them are really long-term clients and really long-term relationships. So maybe that's also a bit of word of mouth now at this
Yep.
point.
I had a feeling I kind of knew that they were more long term, and I think that's one of the differentiators between I'd say top freelancers versus new freelancers or freelancers that are kind of stuck on the roller coaster is you realize that it's better to have 5 to 15 really good clients that love you versus always searching for new ones. So I'd love to, and I think there's going to be, it's kind of a two-part question, but so the first question is going to be, what is a sort of engagement look like from start to finish? And then the second question is, I really want to understand sort of how do you build these deep relationships? Um, this is the gold, right, of freelancing is how to become that trusted resource and build the deep relationship. But so let's start with, just so we have a lay of the land, what does a freelance project generally look like from the first, and how are you meet? So we talked about how are you meeting. So from the first second you meet this client, what does it look like? What does the actual project generally look like?
Yeah. Okay. Let's leave apart the way how we found each other as we realized that it's not, one size fits all. Let's assume that we decided to try it out together and we have the conversation. Um, it is normally me asking, okay, what's the need? What's the problem? What is this? If we don't solve this problem now, how bad is it? Or what kind of expectations you would have? So for example, if we're talking about content strategy, marketing strategy, I want to ask the questions about what are the social media channels you're currently using? Do you have any newsletter? What kind of difficulties you face with those channels? What would you like to achieve with the strategy? Maybe it is a concrete, action plan, and you want to know that you need to post 5 posts a day on these channels, and this is how we're gonna, monitor. These are the KPIs. These are all of the things that you need to do. So it's asking as many questions as possible to them to understand the need. Because if I start thinking of it from my head and I think, okay, if they contacted me for the strategy, it means that they are probably looking for this or this. So there is a lot of assumption, which I know lots of people don't do. They are afraid to ask a lot of questions because it shows, they think it shows the incompetence, which I cannot really agree with at all. And it's also kind of starting after your the second part of your question. It creates a lot of trust because I am getting to know their business. I want to know a lot about them. I want to know about their audience. I want to know about their struggles. So my interest in them shows a lot of trustworthiness, in my opinion. And after I collect information, after I'm happy with what I think I need, and obviously there's a lot of back and forth in terms of, have I understood everything correctly? Is it the exact thing that you would like? I would really not want to spend a lot of my time as well wasted, right? I don't want to waste my time on doing the unnecessary work. So I could produce maybe 3 strategy decks and they would not be right because I didn't ask the right questions. Normally the questions are, as I mentioned, what are the struggles? What do you have now? What would you like to have? Maybe if I want to think like get some ideas about the content that I can suggest them. It would be, what are the most common questions that, for instance, your sales team is getting? So we can think maybe it is a specific question that can be answered with an article or with a video or with both. Then it goes. Then I just get inspired, I just work, I make research, I make research on the competitors, I make research on these companies' own communication to understand what things work and don't work for them in terms of content, in terms of format. Sometimes they make like very simple common mistakes, like not diversifying their content, having all the same things in different channels. And yeah, so these are where the suggestions come in, lots of ideas. And then eventually we talk, and normally people are happy, or they maybe want a bit more. Maybe they realize in the process that I am presenting that they want something on top of that, and then we talk about it. So it's always this communication. For me, it's really important. I would actually ask for feedback. I would actually ask for things that they want to add, because it's the second part in building the relationship for me is, as they say, right, under promise, over deliver. You may agree on something that you say, yes, I will do it, either in this time, like 7 days, for instance, and you deliver it in 6 or 5. Or if it is still the same time frame, but it is a bit more, like you say, oh, look, I found this, or I had this thing. We didn't talk about that, but I thought it would be amazing for you. And it's, again, it's a report, it's the attention, and it is your intention to build something together.
Gotcha. And so I wonder, with that initial stage of the aligning on the questions, which is so hypercritical, right? Number one, it establishes you as the expert. If you ask the good questions, it also makes them feel like you're doing this together, because you're not just telling them, you're bringing them into the conversation. And the goal is, like, if you can make them feel like they're the ones who thought of the idea, that's when you've locked them in forever, usually, right? But so that first initial session, right? Do you do that for free? Is there a scoping session? Like, how do you make sure you're not wasting your time and spinning your wheels?
Well, as I'm not usually selling my services per hour, because it's really not, it's not a good approach, because in the end, I will probably work more than necessary, and for that amount of money for myself. And yeah, it's just like objectively not the best option for the actual client. I had some situations when people agreed on per hour. Actually, they wanted to push, like they pushed for per hour, and then they realized that it would be easier for them and better per package. So yeah, in a way, I'm selling the package, and then we can agree, obviously, on the certain amount of revisions and the calls. But yeah, I would definitely invest in the relationship with the consultation for free, with or it's kind of included. It is included in everything.
So the package. So if I'm, as a client, what is the package? Actually, let's hear the secret of what is the package.
My exact package. Well, it's like, if we're taking the biggest thing, like the ideal thing is when we start, when I'm working on the strategy, and then I actually execute from it. So it will be social media management, and eventually newsletter, and maybe some content production, like articles and videos. Then it looks like, okay, you have a brief, you answer the questions. Maybe it can be in writing, like I can send the questions out, or we can have a call. Then eventually, if something's not clear for either side, we discuss it over. And whenever I feel it is, I'm ready to start. Normally, it's a couple of sessions, if not one. Then I start working. The package includes your own communication analysis, so see how and what works for this company. Then it is the competitor analysis. Normally it could be 3 to 5. Again, I will also ask what a competitor, because I mean, why should I make the double research if this company has already done it and they know the competitors by heart? Maybe these competitors are also doing something that this company, the client now knows and wants, and then it will be super helpful for me. So the competitor analysis, then I will see based on that, I will see what ideas already come up. Generally, I have lots of ideas in terms of content. I can generate lots of ideas based on these insights. Going back to analytics, seeing what was performing well before, knowing some trends in general in the field. I can research if I'm not familiar with the field. I will definitely make research and see what people are doing, because sometimes you may even try to go the opposite direction, right? Everyone's doing the video, let's do articles, or the other way around. And then it's the idea time. So content ideas, the actual pieces, like what can be article, then article titles, video formats, and the title of what we're going to be talking about. Because I'm now also producing the content in the project that I co-founded. I am curating the production of content, so I have very thorough and reliable processes in place. I know how to produce a high quality content, and this is it. And then it's, you know, giving it some time. There is feedback loop in terms of the work that I've done from the client, also from my side. Maybe I've learned something. Always constant communication in the process as I'm proceeding, as I'm trying something new. And when the implementation happens, give it some time. Obviously, not everything can be seen immediately. It's the analytics. You see what's not working, what's working, why, and then continue the process, like adapting and testing. And
Gotcha.
this is how I've been working for years now with those clients that I've been having for years. So that's that.
Gotcha.
Sometimes, and of course, eventually you need to update the strategy. You see that, okay, this works, and then you need to try something else. Yeah.
And would you say that your clients, they hire you as, like, you know, basically chief marketing officer or marketing manager instead of just an individual freelancer?
Well, I suppose so. Also for myself, I'm growing my business. So I have an assistant now, and I want to teach him everything I know, basically.
Yeah.
So we can have more projects together, and we can, just generally do more good stuff.
Yeah.
So I would probably, at this point, in a way, make my team hired through me. Yeah.
Yep. So what would you say? So let's talk scale, right? So I think one of the clear things that I took away from that is you have a clear understanding of the marketing process required. And I think the explicit quote you said was like, I have these processes built up, whether it's production, whether it's the competitive audit, whether it's the communications audit, you name it. You're not just, you know, saying yes to something and then Google searching, how do I actually do this, right? You have the clear processes. You also understand the client journey. So I think one of the clear things with freelancing is there's not a process for this, right? You feel like you're on an island unto yourself. And especially when we talk about a sales process, I mean, you're a freelancer. Like, you're not the expert at how to close a sale and how to have a proposal and a statement of work and you name it, but you have a very, very clear understanding of this is a package. This is not just hiring me per hour. And I imagine you have very clear sort of KPIs and outcomes as you're talking with your clients. But so let's talk about this growth perspective and this scale. So how do you plan, or how have you scaled your freelance business?
Currently doing that, so it's very interesting. It's exciting. As I mentioned, I have an assistant now, and I'm very, very happy because it helps me free some time and add more things. So that would be eventually having more people in my team, as well as actually after your specific workshop at Freelance Business Month, I realized I need to network with more people, and I've been doing that for the past couple of weeks. And I reached out to people with, you know, as I thought, or maybe it could look like competitors, right? The similar profile, people who have very, very similar titles on LinkedIn. But then I talked to them and I asked them what they were doing, what kind of aspirations they wanted, what kind of clients they worked with. It's all completely different. They can be marketer, but it's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the either this certain area or this kind of customer where I'm not doing this kind of marketing job, because fortunately, unfortunately, now we have so much to do in this field. Like we really can be anything, and you can do only events and be super fantastic marketer in the event sector, or you can do content like me and just do just that. And there's so much of marketing to still be doing, like cost the ads and the social media and the emails. Some people really go into the this little niche within the marketing profession, and they stay there. So that's what I want to do for myself as well. This is where I want to have more contacts. Um, so in a way, it is both growing my own company, like having it a proper company with a couple of employees maybe, and also refer the work to the other people,
I
which
love
my
the,
company would not be doing. Yeah.
yeah, I love the light bulb whenever freelancers usually like from competition to collaboration. Because I mean, how can you not think, right? You see someone who does the same exact thing you do as a freelancer and you're like, oh, they're a competitor. But then you realize there's millions of industries, there's millions of niches within each skill category. And quite
Yeah.
frankly, even if you are doing the same exact thing in the same exact niche, you might be too busy to take on the work. And it's great to have an extra set of hands that does exactly what you do. So the competition thing, it cracks me up. It's definitely one of the biggest myths
Yeah.
and biggest things that will, we're shattering one by one, right? And I think so. I love that. So let's a couple, one more big question that I have is I really want to understand like what has been the best sort of client outcome that you've had? Like what is that role model project that you turn to and you're like, this was success. Like this was the gold standard of my company and what we want to build. So yeah. So do you have an example of like, hey, this is the role model project? And it could be, it doesn't have to go by dollar amount or size, like literally just what has been the most impactful project for you?
All right. If it is not by dollar, because currently, as I said, I'm a co-founder, so I get nothing. I'm investing lots of my time and effort in it. But I must say that the project that I co-founded now, it's called Open Self. Yeah, it is the best thing that ever happened to me professionally, because we have fantastic people. We have people that are motivated and excited, and the good thing about the team is that we are, we are giving them this love. We are happy about what they do, and we are not afraid to say it. There is the communication in the team is really flowing, and everyone can come and say and ask questions and say what they want to, change, or how they want to improve. Or maybe they're like, for example, they started as writers, but they want to do something else, some kind of other format of content. They come and they say, and we talk about it. And generally, how I see that people start writing to us from, people are, the team members are talking about the project. So everyone is coming to us and they say, we want to contribute as well. And it is a volunteer run project, so there is no money in it. People really are there for the team and for the impact we are making. So yes, I hope that it will become something bigger. It has to, because it is a really successful thing already. We launched in March. It's not been even a year, and we have like 40 people in the team now. It's crazy. And for me as well, because with this growth, with this amount of people, with this quality of people, I am now leading the content production, which was a dream of mine. I really wanted to do more of this production and know how to do that and manage the team. And last year, when I started the project, I was given the role of content director, of content manager. And I was terrified because before I've never had anyone. Like I've always been myself, never managed anyone. And now I think we are around 30 people. I manage 30 people. It's crazy. Yeah.
So so let's just, I'm going to just give you the floor to pitch Open South, because we kind of breezed over, but yeah, give the pitch to the audience of what it is and how they can get involved.
It is in a way very local, because it is talking to people who are living in Bulgaria. They are international, so they are not exactly foreigners. We are also targeting the Bulgarians who came back from abroad, because it's also quite a big thing here. People are really living this country a lot, but they don't know about all the amazing things that are happening now. So thanks to the international community, there are so many new businesses, different hubs. It's a huge startup hub, actually, mainly because it's of the country's low taxes, but also because of the fact that everyone is coming there now. Really, it's really, really beautiful. There is so much to build still. There are so much opportunities, and it's fantastic. So Open Sofia is providing the necessary information about life in Bulgaria. Now we are expanding to other cities in Bulgaria, and we are talking about many different things, from documents to leisure to things to do. We also organize events. Now they are more online. Before it was offline. So the international family, as we call it, is feeling at home here. And this is our goal and our mission and our passion, I think.
I love it. Sweet. Okay, so if I could summarize sort of what you said in the past 20 minutes, I would say number one is know your niche, right? Understand, for you marketing, understand what that requires, what are the intended outcomes, and what it takes to run a successful marketing campaign or project. Number two, know your customer. So don't just give them a proposal, ask a bunch of questions so you know what you're getting into and you know them better than they know themselves. And then number three, I'd say know yourself. And so for you, as you're growing your business, you nailed it with the collaboration over competition, and sort of the metric of scale and growth for you is bringing on the team. So what would you say is the one takeaway that you would have to fellow freelancers in terms of what they should be thinking about right now?
Yes, collaborate, get the other people on board, even if you don't actually work together, just get to know them, talk to them, and especially if they're in different countries, if they're doing a bit different things, it's very, very important for you. You will also get a lot of maybe praise also for the fact that you are doing it, because everyone's now busy with their business. Everyone's worried maybe about their business, and giving each other support, maybe share some takeaways and ideas for free without any, any expectation back. We need to really think about each other as humans and think about the collaborations as much as we can. Here we talked about the clients, right? So we need to actually be team members with the clients. If we are freelancers for them, we're just, contractors. But we really need to rethink the way we are working. As we mentioned here, many areas, whether it is competitors, whether it is our clients, whether it is our team, just be kind to each other.
I love it. All right, you have 3 rocket questions. You've less than 30 seconds to answer for each. Ideally, just right off the top of your head. You ready? You nervous?
No.
No. Okay, you ready? Let's. First question is favorite book.
Oh my God, Little Prince.
Ah, cool. Okay. Favorite tool.
Fork.
For work. It can be for anything though. Whatever.
Can be anything.
It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be fork. I go for fork. I love eating.
And then last question, favorite animal.
Oh my God, that's a bad question because I love dogs, but I have a cat now. Oh my God. Can I say hedgehog?
You could totally say hedgehog.
Okay.
I'm going with dog though. Dog's the real answer. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much for hopping on.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Matt. You're really, it was great.